Hey everyone, welcome
Hi.
to our 25th,
Episode. Can you believe it,
25
Tracy?
episodes. No,
Wow. I don't know. I can't even believe it.
it's been 25, weeks really, which is kind of
Yes.
crazy. Yeah.
Yes.
So not a quarter of the way there, half of a year almost. 25 weeks, there's 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay.
52, 25.
Okay,
There you go.
yeah,
So we are so glad to have you all with us today. We're
We
excited
are.
for our quarter of a century episode. Whatever.
Listen, all I can say is I'm so proud of Tracy and I because we've done it for 25 episodes.
Yes, and it's been a blast. It's been so much fun, and we appreciate you all, each and every one of you,
yeah.
for sharing in this journey and adventure with us. We've had a great time, and we're going to continue to have a great time. Every
Yes.
week we come up with something different that we want to do. So once again, please send us your ideas. Feel free to
Yes.
send them to us. We want to hear from you all. And we're just here. We're stuck in the middle where...
We ain't young, but we ain't dead yet.
That's right.
That's
So,
right.
in honor of our 25th episode, we thought we would do a total of 25 things, correct?
25 things, yes. What we decided on were, and Tracy and I have not seen each other's list, so
Nope.
just to let everybody know. So we always talk at the end of every single one of our episodes to be kind and caring and share and like and all those things. So we thought it was fitting that we would say 10 things kind, each one of us, about ourselves, because that is part of it. You need to be kind to yourself too. So I have 10 things to say about myself. I have 10 things to say about Tracy. And then the last 5 are things that if we knew when we were 25 what we know now, these are the things that we would tell that 25-year-old self.
So that's
Right?
perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
So 10 good qualities or nice things about you, 10 about myself, from myself, and then 5 things I would tell my 25-year-old self. So
Correct.
we each have 25 kind of things we're talking about.
Yep, it's all about 25.
So good. Okay, well, I'm excited. So who wants to go first?
Okay, I'll go.
I mean, we can go back and forth.
We'll go back and forth.
About each other first.
Yes.
Have a love fest.
Oh, total love fest.
Right?
Until we argue.
Yes.
Because we argue. Y'all know it. Y'all know
Now,
it.
my qualities about you are not in any specific order.
No, mine are not in any order
Okay, good.
at all whatsoever. Not from the most
Yeah,
best
important.
to or most important or whatever. No, they're just what popped in this head came out.
Same,
on
and that's
paper.
I did gut feeling, kind of like that personality
Yes,
test, like the whole gut
yes.
thing. I just whatever came to mind is what I put down.
Exactly.
Okay.
So Tracy. Okay, I'll start with you. Do you want me to read all 10 to you, or we'll go back and forth? No, I'll read my all 10.
Okay.
Okay, we're trying to figure it out. As you're listening, we're trying to figure things
Yeah.
out ourselves, okay? So these are the things that I like about Tracy, the 10.
No.
The first one is funny.
Aw, thank
She's
you.
so funny, y'all. She's so funny. The second one is she's kind. She's very kind,
Aw.
always.
Well, thank you. That's sweet.
You
I don't feel
are.
like I'm kind all the time, but thank
Well,
you.
well, we all have that little side, okay?
Yeah.
But she's kind. The third one is she's happy. I see you as being a happy person. You're happy. And so when you're happy, that just pops out at everybody.
Aw, thank you.
Okay, the fourth one is I think you're beautiful inside and on the outside.
Aw, thank you.
Yes, I do.
And she's going to have to laugh about on the outside because it's kind of a private joke.
It is
With
because
me, the way I've been spending my little hiatus off between work, I just need to chill myself out.
she needs to chill out.
Quit spending
But
money.
I think she is just beautiful on the outside and in.
Thank you.
Fifth one is you have long, beautiful legs.
Aw.
Tracy's legs are to die for,
Aw.
everybody. You always see us from here up, and I'm glad for my sake y'all see us from
Oh,
here
stop
up.
it. You're
Except for
crazy.
my dance.
You're
whatever.
funny.
But
You're so sweet.
I love
Thank you.
I think you have long, beautiful legs.
Thank you. So sweet.
The sixth one is I think you're smart. You're a smart woman, and I love that.
That is nice. I would never, ever pick that adjective to say about myself. So that's very kind and sweet.
It's hard. Let me tell you, and I'll say this. It was easy for me to do the 10 for her. It was harder to do the 10 things I like about myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're all harder on ourselves, or I am.
I know it,
I
exactly.
totally am.
Totally.
So I think you're a smart woman.
Thank you.
The seventh one, you're a go-getter. You like to go, you get things done, and she's a go-getter.
I like your terms.
Yeah, go-getter.
I might change some of mine. No, I'm kidding. I'll go get her. Yeah.
I want to know what
I
you're
like
saying.
that.
But you're a go-getter. Yes. Eighth is that you have your own style. You definitely have your own style, be it her home, our leopard chairs, our pictures, and our stuff
The deer
back
head
here.
that you can't see with the
Yeah.
chandelier up there.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
Tracy. And I mean, she has her own style, her own flair, and I love that about her. I can definitely look at something and go, Tracy would love that.
Aw.
Actually, I saw something on Temu. I want to get you that you think is cute.
Oh, thank you.
But anyway,
You're so sweet.
the ninth one is you are fun to be around.
Thank you.
We have a ball when we're together, maybe sometimes too much fun.
No, we always have fun, yeah.
We have fun, especially when we get our dancing on and partying on. We have
Yeah.
a great time
Absolutely.
together for many years now. Yeah,
Oh, for many, many years.
many years. And the 10th one is you're compassionate.
Aw.
I think you have a compassionate soul. I think that that's something we have to have in our line of work. So I think Tracy's very compassionate.
I think those are the sweetest adjectives. Thank you so much for the compliments. I really do appreciate them.
It's the truth.
And it is nice to be able to, just like the other day, I had dinner with a couple of friends of ours that are couples, and I was telling another one of my girlfriends how beautiful the girl was. It's actually Heather, my friend, and I was telling another friend, I said, oh my gosh, Heather just looked beautiful Friday night. I mean, her skin was glowing. She's just always so sweet and so kind, and just, she's beautiful. And I even told my friend that I was telling that, I said, next time I see her, I need to tell her that directly. Why I didn't say that to her that night, I don't know, because we were just in conversation. So I did see her this past week, and I said, I just have to tell you, I was telling somebody how beautiful you are, and I just need to tell you how beautiful you are. Because we sometimes don't do that.
Well,
and when I say beautiful, on the outside and the inside as well, because if you're not pretty on the inside, I don't care what your outside looks like.
I don't care. You could look like $1,000,000 on the outside, but you are not
You're
prettier
rotten.
than me.
You're rotten.
Right. Which I'm laughing because one of my things about myself, and you'll understand by something you said that I wrote down about myself. But go on.
Okay, good. Okay. So my list, and I don't feel like I had as good of word choices as you, but anyway, they were the first things that came to my mind. One was loyal. I feel like you're a very loyal friend, and you are very protective of your family, of your friends. And loyalty is something that's just very, very important to me. So definitely loyal. And I'm going to skip order because they're not in order. But another thing I put was trustworthy, because loyalty and trustworthiness, I think, kind of come together in a way. But gaining somebody's trust and keeping somebody's trust is so, a lot of people aren't able to do that.
They're not able to.
And that's a real big thing for me, especially, I know we've talked about the older we get, the more our circle gets smaller and tighter. and you really, that circle of trust gets smaller and smaller. So,
It's
I
true.
feel like that you're loyal again and
Thank you.
and trustworthy. Those are two very
Because Tracy
great
and
qualities.
I, outside of this podcast, I mean, we are very dear, close friends, and
and I can tell you things I know they will never be repeated.
Never.
Just our innermost thoughts about different things. And I don't know, that's just so important to me right now. The less drama, the better, and all that stuff.
The less drama, the better.
So
Yes.
anyway, I appreciate that about you. And of course,
thank you.
you're funny. I mean, I'm sorry. You make me die laughing. That's funny even when we listen back on the podcast. I'm just dying laughing the whole time. Because you make me laugh. You know what I mean? So anyway, so I love that about you. You're funny.
Oh, thank you.
I put loves her family. And that to me is also so important. I see how much you love your family, and I'm going to also put this behind it because another word I used is perseverance.
Yeah.
And I feel like that you have had some challenges. We all have.
Yeah.
But through the thick of it, you persevered. I mean, I remember everything y'all went through at the facility with the storm hitting, and you had your own issues going on at home where you really needed to be focused there, focused at work, just the love that you have for your family and the perseverance of getting through. Sometimes your day may not start when you walk in the door at work.
Yeah.
Or end at the day. You know what I mean? Right. And just that. So those were two things that came to mind. I put bright for you. And when I think of bright, I think of your personality, but I also think of your overall aura. Like bright, cheerful, your blonde hair, just you're a bright person. So that speaks on the outside and the inside, because that is your personality to me. Bright.
Yes.
Yeah, bright. And of course I put you're a good dancer. I had to put that because she won the competition. I'm kidding. She's actually a great dancer though.
I do love to dance.
Now, I mean, if you would have freestyled it, you really would have gotten a lot of hits because you were doing your rehearsed one.
I have my routine.
But yeah, I thought you did great.
Oh,
and I think you always do great.
Oh, Tracy.
I think that you're a great cook. I'm sorry. Now, okay, Julie has a lot of lives. And at one point, Julie was a caterer. Mm-hmm. She used to, the name of your business at the time was
Catering by Jules.
But you were known for your baby cakes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, to this day, my sister, to this day, if I mentioned the name Julie, do you think she can make me some of those strawberry baby cakes, Tracy? I'm like, oh my gosh, I know, right? Maybe for my birthday, December 29th. Get on. But anyway, Julie is a phenomenal cook. I mean, everything she touches is delicious. So that to me is great.
Oh, that's so good.
And then I put you're kind. Because you're kind, and there's not a lot of people out there that are kind. Did you say I was kind too?
Yes,
I
did.
Wow, kind.
Right,
yeah, that's what I thought you remember. Yeah, kind.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing I put for you is you have the most beautiful eyes. They light up. They're gorgeous. They're the prettiest color, like blue, greeny color, bright. Gorgeous eyes. Yes, beautiful eyes.
Thank you.
So those are the top 10 things. I could go on and on and on. There's a lot more. But those were the top things that came to my brain.
Well, thank you.
About that,
I love all those.
Yeah.
I do.
It is funny sometimes to hear other people's perceptions of what they see you as.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
You know what I mean? Like different qualities. Things that maybe are in us that we don't even know are in us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or things like that.
Exactly. Like, I do love that you said bright as far as my...
Just overall aura.
Yeah, the aura. That's great.
And you are. You're bright to look at, but you're bright in your personality. It goes with your looks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Tracy.
All right, now let's talk about your own self.
Okay.
Talk about your own self.
Okay, here it goes.
So we have to be kind to ourselves, like you said. So this isn't us trying to brag on ourselves. This is just kind of what we think. And y'all might be out there when I say my list saying, girl, you got it so wrong about yourself.
I doubt it. No, you do. And Tracy and I, we talked about this morning actually earlier early this morning before we actually did our day jobs, But, the thing is that we're not always kind to ourselves. I am the hardest on myself. I say this all the time. There is nothing anybody could say to me that I haven't already said to myself.
Absolutely.
So I am the hardest on myself, but you do have to learn to be kind to yourself because you are what you have and what you make of it. So these are my things.
Yes.
Okay, I think I'm funny. All I'm gonna say is that I crack myself up. I will, like Tracy said, whenever we go back and we watch these, which is hard for both of us.
I really don't hardly watch them because I'm just like mortified.
Well, I know.
Especially that dancing one. Oh my! Of you, I can watch it. Of me, I'm like, oh, you look so crazy, stupid.
I love it watching her. That's what I'm talking about. And so all I can say is when I do go back and watch it, I crack up. I crack myself up. I think that I'm funny.
You are funny.
And the next one is I love to laugh. I love to laugh. If I haven't laughed hard in a day, something is really wrong. Mm-hmm. I mean, to gut laugh, just to laugh. It is like you couldn't take a pill to make you feel any better than when you gut laugh.
It's so good for your soul. No doubt about it.
Like when your sides hurt and you're exhausted.
Yes. You hurt.
Yes, you hurt. I love to laugh. The other one that I read about myself is that I'm very loyal.
Oh, see?
It's true. I am a very loyal person. And if the people that know me and know that I'm going to be in your corner, when I say I'm in your corner, I am in your corner. So I'm a very loyal person. My next thing I wrote, I'm compassionate. I do have a lot of compassion. Like I said, when I said that about Tracy, is the line of work that we're in. I am a compassionate person, and yesterday I had a lady in my office and it was after 5 o'clock and I was ready to go home and I sat there and cried right along with her because that's just who I am. Okay, my next one is I think I'm fun to be around.
You are.
Like, I'm fun to be around. If I'm going out to have a good time, I'm going to have a good time. I'm fun to be around.
You're fun.
So I think that I have my own style, definitely. I mean, as much as I say that about Tracy, I'm sure you can look at something and go, oh my God, that's
right. I mean, like I'm saying, like that's like I can picture things all the time that I'm like, I know they would look just like you. You know, like you definitely have your own style. For sure. Yes, for sure.
So that's something. I'm a hard worker. So, and that's at my job and different things that I've had to face out there in my personal life and work. In my work world, I'm a hard worker and I'm going to work my way through it because I will not give up. I'm a hard worker. The next thing is I'm very prideful and patriotic.
True. Good one for you. You're right about that.
Yeah. Don't mess with the USA.
Yes, you're right about that.
What I'm saying. You're that person too.
Well, it's funny because I never would really think about that. But I was literally just talking yesterday to another friend of mine, and we were talking, I don't know how it came up, just about, and we're not getting into the whole political thing, but about politics in general. Right now, elections coming around in a year, blah, blah, blah. Right. And I literally said to her, I said, Jennifer, do you think we are at a place in time in our country right now that if 9/11 were to happen all over again, do you think we would have the level of civility and pride as people, like how everybody came together? Everybody had flags on their cars, on their homes. We didn't look at it as 2 parties or 3 parties. We truly looked at people in the face again.
We were one country.
And we were truly united. And I said, I really wonder, and I do, like if that happened right now, would we ever be able to get back there again? Or are we just at a point where things are so ugly that people would be like, yeah, sorry about your luck, it happened? I'm just curious when you said that about, it's funny, I just had that conversation.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is what I'm going to say about that. This is just my opinion only. Yes, I do think we would do that, because I'm going to just say this: when the going gets tough, the tough gets going, and you're not going to bring the United States down without a fight, because we're all here together.
That's nice to hear, and I pray that it would be like that.
No, I think it would. And
not that we want anything tragic like that to ever occur again.
Of course not. But, and we're going to do our best to prevent that. But yes. So for me, I'm very prideful and I'm very patriotic. I don't dwell on it, but I am a patriotic person. I love where I live. Okay, the next one is, I think I'm a good wife and a good mother. So that's probably one of my proudest things. I'm talking about being prideful, that's one of my proudest things. And I'm a good mother to not only my 2 children, Lauren and Daniel, but I'm a good mother-in-law, and I think of them as I'm their mother too, which is Jen and Mike, who's on our podcast, and I love them. They're my own. And I'm a good mama to the dogs and the cats too, so I'm just a good mama, I think, and a good wife. I am a good wife to my husband, and I love my husband, and I take a lot of pride in that. And my last one is, I like strong women. I like to women that know who they are, aren't afraid to speak their truth, their mind, without being rude. I do not like rude people, but just know who they are. And I like to encourage the young moms out there. Like I have a lot of friends that they're younger and who listen to our podcast, and I'm there for them, and they know I'm there for them. I don't even have to say their names, because you know who you are when I say this. But I've gone through some tough times with some of those young girls that they've gone through tough times. And they come to me and they trust me not to say anything. And I try to empower them. And I also like to compliment other women and make them feel good, which is what you were saying. So I do, because, in the morning we get up, we put our makeup on or not makeup on, but you put your best foot forward each day. And I do take notice of that, and I like to tell other women, like you said, your friend, that her skin look good, I like your shirt. Be kind to one another. Compliment other women. Don't be jealous of other women. Make them feel good, because they're going to feel good the rest of their day. So that's what I think of myself.
Yeah. And I think you're spot on with everything. I think a lot of it goes hand in hand with the way I was describing it. Okay, so be kind to myself. What do I think about myself?
I can't wait.
Well, I think I'm funny.
You are.
Funny, let me preface this. Funny in a very smart-assy kind of way, because my nickname from my parents, even when I was 16, my keychain said smartass on it. Because when I was a little girl, I had that in me to be a smartass. And when I was little, my dad would call me smartass, and I'd say, I'm not any smartass. And so I'm kind of funny, but I'm very smartassy funny. That's the only way I can put it.
I wouldn't change a hair on your head.
And then I'm truthful. I feel like I'm truthful.
Sure.
I'm not going out just spewing things to people that they don't need to hear. But if somebody truly does ask me for my opinion, I will give it in a very lovingly truthful way.
Right.
So I don't, I'm not one not to be truthful.
That is true about you.
I think I'm optimistic.
You are.
Like, I try to always see the glasses half full. I've told y'all before, pessimistic people kind of get on my nerves. Skeptical people kind of get on my nerves. People with a lot of drama that don't do anything about their own drama get on my nerves. So I like to be optimistic. Does that mean that we don't have down days? Of course not.
Yeah.
But in general, I do like to always be optimistic.
And you are.
I try to love everyone, which is another thing I put. You know, pretty much you have to really have wronged me or somebody I love very closely for me to form my own opinion that I may not think you're like the best person in the world.
That
It's
is
pretty
very
hard for
true
me
about you.
it does
Very.
take quite a lot for me not. I'm always trying to see the good in everybody. I truly am, to
Yeah.
a fault, I feel like, but I can't help it. I would want somebody to always try to give me the benefit of the doubt, you know.
That is a true statement
So,
about Traci.
I try
right
to
there.
I do try to love everyone. And then I feel like I'm humble. I would say humble in a way. You know, I'm very grateful for everything I have. I don't know.
You're
You know,
just grateful.
I just am very grateful and very
Yes.
humble. I mean, I'm very happy with our life and, you know, the things we've accomplished and just our ordinary life. I'm happy with that. So,
I love that.
I mean, I would have to say
I
that.
love that.
Oh, I put good I couldn't read that. Good cook. I think I'm a good cook.
She is.
My husband tells me all the time, he's like, you should open a restaurant, Traci. You cook so good.
Well, listen, and really and truly, my kids say, especially my son, he tells me all the time, Mom, on y'all's podcast, you need to do some cooking. And
I'm telling you, you know, that
I
would be a
think
good
we
idea
should.
too.
We
Because
should do
even
that.
like just a steak, literally the other night I made one. It was my friend Bart's recipe and it's super easy. It's just salt, pepper, and a little butter on the top. But it's just cooking it perfectly
To perfection.
in the oven actually. And it is the juiciest steak Mike said he's ever eaten in his life. Like he goes, it's better than Ruth Chris or Morton's. It's the best steak I've ever had.
Coming over.
And it's just simple, you know. And I have another steak recipe, but it doesn't matter. But
She is
my
a good
mother-in-law tells me all the time how much she loves it. My mom used to always tell me. My kids, Mike, my friends. So I have to take that and say, okay, I guess I am a good cook. I'm not a good baker because there's a big, huge difference.
Yeah.
I cook meals, but not so much baking cakes and stuff like
Well,
that.
see, it's funny because, and I'll just interrupt right there. Yeah, I was known for these little baby cakes that I made, but I absolutely hate to bake.
Yeah.
That's why you will never see me bake another one. But cooking, I'll get in there and throw down. So you are a good cook. And let me tell this story real quick about you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because a lot of times Traci and I, instead of going out here in Clewiston to meet for lunch,
We'll come here because we want to talk privately.
yeah, because we want to be able to talk and have a conversation. And so I'll come over. Here's Traci in her work dress, her high heels on. And y'all, those of y'all that know her could just see it, right? And she's in there and she's got her jewelry and makeup on. She's in there frying tater tots for us.
Yes.
It was one of my favorite meals over here. And or I'll come over and she'll say, "Look, I'm doing this recipe and it's with sun-dried tomatoes and spinach and stuff." I said, okay, great. She goes, but you know what? I used the chicken, I think, for something else, so we're just going to have a pasta, okay? That's her. And so she is a good cook.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. I also put I raised pretty great humans, meaning my children.
Yes.
You know, I do have to give myself some credit. I'm normally not one to do that. But I'm very, very proud of our girls. And I mean, as a parent, we need to take ownership in some kind of way, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. So for today, I'm very, very proud of the human beings that they are. They're great, productive members of society with good moral code and values. They like to have fun. They have good senses of humor.
And that's true. That's true for both of us. And our kids are hard workers and they are great humans. And they like to hang out with us, with their moms.
They love that.
Because guess what? We're fun.
Yes.
Like we both said.
So,
and they do. That's
yep.
good
So I
for
did
us.
put that.
Yeah.
I also put that I'm passionate, and that can go in a lot of different directions. But I'm a very passionate person. I'm very passionate physically with my husband, but I'm also a very passionate person about life, about my job, about, you know, just passionate's the word that came to me, because I am. If there's a cause that I believe in, I'm passionate about it.
That
If
is
it's my
so
job,
true.
I'm passionate about it. If it's my spouse, I'm passionate about it. So that was one. And I put a hard worker as well.
You
Because we
are.
worked our tails off for so long. All our life.
our
Like, I
lives.
mean, just really work hard. I,
mean,
feel
hard.
like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, even doing this side hustle, we're trying to
Yes.
work hard. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
we love you guys, but we do want this to turn into like a really productive business one day.
We do. And
I mean, hard workers.
we're hard workers.
And my last quality about myself is I never want to let anyone down. I just don't. I don't like to disappoint people. I learned a very valuable lesson when I was a teenager, and I went out and did something stupid, like underage drinking, and I got caught by my parents. Thankfully, I mean, I was okay, but I'll just never forget my dad. He didn't
He was disappointed.
give me a spanking or anything like that.
Yeah.
I did get a little restriction, but it was very mild. But all he had to do was quietly just look at me in my eyes and say, I'm just so disappointed with you right now, Tracy. And that absolutely crushed me. I started bawling, crying. I'm like, I mean, the thought of me letting anyone down, anyone. I mean, if I know somebody's counting on me for something, whether it be my children, whether it be my friends, whether it be my job. I mean, there's so many times Michael say, do we really need to go to this event, or do we really need to do this? And I'm like, yeah, we do. I mean, it's something I'm doing. I don't want to let them down. They're counting on me to be there.
That's good.
I just don't like to disappoint people
That's
of
good.
any way. So
Well,
those are my
I think those
top
are
10
great
things.
for both of us. I mean, it was kind of funny, or not really funny, whatever, that I see with the things I said and the things that you said is we say the same thing, but we may say it a little differently.
Yes.
But we both we say
Yeah.
the same things,
Yeah.
which is probably why we're really good friends.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Because
Yeah.
like-minded people hang out with like-minded people.
Yeah,
I think.
and we both think we're funny. So there.
Yeah, we do.
And we are.
And we are.
There we are.
Because we believe in ourselves.
Yes, that's right.
So, what are we going to go back, Jules, and tell our 25-year-old selves in five different things?
And 5 different things.
I mean, because we could be here all day and night. talking about that.
we could go on and on, really, but okay. And I'll just make this, simple as I can. Education. At 25, and listen, I wouldn't change my life for anything, okay? But I had my babies by then. I wanted to be a housewife and a mommy, and I love that. That is my greatest job of all time, right? But that being said, I wished I could have told my 25-year-old self how important education and getting an education would mean down the road at my stage of my life in order to support your family and those things. So I would pay great more attention, and I would have gone after education more strongly.
That's nice, Steve. I mean, that's good. I never thought of that, but yeah.
That. Another one is physical fitness routine. Y'all know, we talk about it.
You talk.
I hate it. You hate it. We both hate exercising. But maybe if I'd have started at 25, you know how some people, Tracy, are runners and some, your daughter.
I feel like the younger generation in general is just so much more health conscious already.
Yeah.
Like, they do all that.
I'm going to just say, okay, and I would tell my 25-year-old self to have done something.
Get your butt up.
Get it up.
Yeah.
The next one would be to take better care of my skin. At 25, I was laying in the sun with baby oil and iodine mixed together because I am of that generation. And I still,
laying out on a tinfoil blanket.
Yeah.
Or those silver ones.
Out there just like this.
Exactly.
And now don't get me wrong, I'm telling you, I still love being in the sun. I know it's not good for you, but it makes my body feel good.
Yeah.
And I just go along with tan fat looks better than white fat. That's just me.
Honey, we're from Florida. You gotta have some tan fat. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
So probably take better care of my skin. My daughter's always taken great care of her skin, and she's got beautiful skin. I would, as far as finances go, been a better saver. I've never been a good saver. I think people are either good savers or they're not. I've never been a good saver. And I wished I would have taken more interest in finances as far as your credit score goes and how important that is in every aspect of your life, from insurance to getting loans to providing you with whatever it is that you want your life. That credit score means everything. I, in the last several years, have worked very hard on that. My credit score is up really good, very good, but it's taken me a long time to dig there. So make those payments on time, people, and make sure you have good credit. And I wished I'd have paid more attention at 25 and had been a little smarter about financing at that stage of the game. But I'm okay now, but I wish I'd have been better. And to have watched my weight better, because like I said, I was having my babies and I was thin. I was way thinner. Even 9 months pregnant, I was way thinner than I am now. But with my son, I had gestational diabetes. They told me to watch it then. I didn't, and I do have type 2 diabetes. So it's the medication she takes. I wished I would have told my 25-year-old self to have been better about my choices for eating and that sort of thing because of my health. So those are my 5 things.
Well, I'll be. I'm glad I'm not your 25-year-old child, because I don't like your list. I'm like, I don't want to exercise. I don't want to eat healthy. I don't want to education wasn't my thing, even though my kids, thank God they did. And no, I agree with everything you're saying. Yes. I just know me. I'm like, la, 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 la.
But, and listen, and that's why I said it, because at 25, I didn't do any of those things. So that's why I
probably still wouldn't. But I get you. I know. You're right, babe. You're right. Okay, my 25-year-old self. The first thing that came to my mind was, not the first thing, but don't try to set traditions unfairly. And I say that because I got married at 24. Okay. And I see so many younger couples that, you've got, especially around here, your families live close together, and just basically really starting fair on both sides of holiday traditions.
That is so
because
true.
I see so many families that there's a rift in the family because, the daughter wants to do everything with her side of the family, or the guy wants, whatever. I have to say that, thankfully, we always did do it very fairly, but I really want my kids to grasp that, because I think it's very, very important from the beginning that you treat your other family who you marry into just as important, because I see it all the time. I think it's human nature, and I think that's very important. Like, I would never ever support my kids. Like, if anything, I'm pushing them to do the other side of the families, because I think that that's very important,
That's good advice.
So I think that's one thing. And then basically I put being okay with your appearance and having self-confidence. I mean, I know I've said this many, many times, but I can't say it enough. When I was younger, I did not have self-confidence. And that's something that's very hard to obtain, but once you do get it, it's life-changing. It's life-changing about the way you see the world, because you are confident in who you are. It doesn't mean you have to be setting the world on fire with your even appearance, but that you have to be okay with yourself. And that's a very hard thing to grasp. You're still trying to figure life out at that point.
Oh, gosh, yes.
But that, to me, if anybody could bottle that and give it to the younger people, it would just save them so much heartache.
True. Very
to me.
true. Very.
And so that would be another thing. And then my other one is I put do not, in capital letters, not try to keep up with the Joneses.
Oh, forget it.
Which kind of goes hand in hand to a certain degree with what you're saying about the financial piece of it, because we tend to want to, we see our friends going on a trip, or we see them getting a bigger home, and we're, starting our families, raising our kids.
Car,
and things like that are
that.
so, like, you perceive to be so important at that age, and it's not. It is not.
It's not. And
So,
that's what I was.
And listen, we did it too. We would, go and take a trip on a credit card because we didn't want to miss out on the trip.
Yeah, don't do it.
Or the other thing I put was being patient and not impulsive. And they kind of go together, because back then, boy, if I wanted a new vehicle, I didn't want to wait for a year and save money for that new vehicle. I wanted to go buy God the next day and get it, and that's what we did. And we made very stupid financial decisions. So don't try to keep up with the Jones. Don't be impatient, and don't be impulsive. And that can even mean thinking that you're never comfortable with where you are in your job. You think you want a different job. You think you want a different this. Like not being complacent. And I don't like to use the word complacent. Comfortable. But you don't have to change all the time and try to keep stepping up and up and up. Obviously, we all want great things. We want a better life for our family, better life for a better future. But that doesn't mean sacrificing where you are today and your happiness and doing things that are going to be stupid mistakes, which I've lived through, to try to do those things because you're impulsive and you want it here and now.
We've all done those things, and that's why we're telling
it's
you
so important.
that out there's a 25-year-old just giving some advice here, because that
you will regret it. To me, I think, and then the last thing I put is spending quality time alone with your spouse. And again, or your boyfriend or girlfriend or,
whatever.
Partner.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us were married at that time, with or without babies. Because when I say quality, I mean quality, not just sitting in a room flipping a television, but truly connecting one-on-one. And it may be a conscious effort that you have to make once every 3 months, just to go a night out and have a nice dinner, or go, get a hotel room and get away, leave the kids with the grandparents, or, something, to spend that quality time to stay connected to your partner, because your kids do look at you and your relationship.
Whether you think they're looking
whether
or not.
you think it or not, it's all being absorbed.
That is
true. They need to see the love that starts at the hierarchy of the family.
And watching it stay there, because I'll just say this.
And being Christ-centered too, because they've got to, not taking your relationship with,
a grain of salt. You've got to,
with for me, Christianity, God, for granted either. Always staying humble and knowing that we're human and we do need to lean on our faith and have true faith and lean in that direction when needed. And your kids need to see that to me, again, these are my thoughts, that you're humble, you're prayerful. It doesn't just happen.
That has to be at the forefront. And I'm going to tell you that. And this goes back to when Traci and I spoke about the things we never take for granted. It's your relationship with God, or whomever, for me, it's your my relationship with God. Because I talk to Him and pray to Him every day. And it's not just about asking for things. It's about being grateful and thankful. In your marriage, you need that there, because you're making that commitment not only to your spouse or your partner, you are making it before God. So do take that seriously. And those are the things. And I have to go back to this real quick, is that taking the time out to be with your spouse, that is so important, because I tell you, honestly, David and I were very good friends before we were anything else. So we always did, and we had a ton of fun, from going to concerts together, to go getting a hotel room, to having some wild fun nights too. And we still go and do those things, because at the end of the day, I married my best friend,
Yes.
So do make them your partner, your friend also, because that's important.
It's important.
And have fun.
Yes.
So I think that's it. It's all about our 25th episode.
So thank you guys so much again.
Yes.
We appreciate you, and I like your idea about a cooking episode, so maybe we can do
we're
that.
going to do some of those. But I do want to say this real quick, Tracy, is that definitely we may have a 25th episode edition little swag package of some kind. So make sure you
Like,
love,
share,
care,
and always be kind. Thank you guys. See you next week.
Oh, and we'll try to do that will again.
Okay. Do we know when, or we'll just...
We don't know when, but we will announce.
Okay. Yeah, so
Okay.
listen up. All right, everybody. Have a great week.
You.
Thank you.
Bye.